Hi, this video will demonstrate some important features of GeoGebra that you will want to use with your first GeoGebra assignment. The first couple of things are just housekeeping. If you're not happy with the font size, if you found it difficult to read, and in a video like this it really is, select Options and go to Font Size. Okay, and you can select something that's a lot more easy to read, such as 18 point, and notice that everything just got bigger. So hopefully you're seeing things a lot better. The second thing that I like to use is click on anywhere on the graphing thing and right click and then select grid, and that gives me grid lines. It just makes it a lot easier to read points and to evaluate things. So the first thing I ask you to do is to graph a function. So you're just going to input your function here in the input line, whatever it may be, whether it be x squared or x cubed or whatever. Okay, so we'll start with something linear, minus x plus 4. Okay, and hit enter and it graphs it. Okay. Now the next thing I ask you to do is to label the x and y intercepts. There are certainly more than one way to do it. I just want to show you a couple of options you can use here in GeoGebra. If you go to the right bottom corner of each square, you can see you can get a whole list of options. So I'm going to use new point. And if I run my cursor over my function f, okay, notice to the right it gives me the coordinates of points. F is highlighted when I'm on it, and notice it gives me the coordinates of the points. So to get my y-intercept, that's when x is 0, I'm going to see when x is 0. So here I got 0, 4. I can now click on that point and it tells me A, 0, 4. Okay, so that is my y-intercept. Okay, so you can also put a label on there. The way you do that is look at this a equal 2. If you go to that bottom right corner and hit insert text, then you just click anywhere you want on the graphing pad and then you can type your text. Okay, so for example I might type y-intercept is 0, 4. Okay, and then I can input that, and then now I can click on that and move it closer so that I know that you obviously know where it is. So just to review, we'll do the x-intercept again. To get the point on there, I click here and do new point. You want to put your cursor right on the line. Notice how f becomes darker. Now to do the x-intercept, we're looking for where y is 0. It's 4, 0. We click and it's given me the point B. All right, and now if I want to label that further, I can go here to the next to the last box, insert text, click anywhere on the grid and type x-intercept at 4, 0. All right, and now it put it on there, but I can move it wherever I want to just demonstrate. All right. So what we've done is show you how to graph it, show you how to label things, show you how to find a point. Okay. The other thing you will need to know for the homework is how to plot an absolute value. Okay. This is another trick that I didn't tell you straight away. So again, to review a few more things, we can go to font, make that bigger. We can right click anywhere in the grid and select grid. All right, and now if we want to graph an absolute value function, we have to use the shortcut ABS. We don't use the straight lines, we use ABS. So we can use ABS of minus x plus 4, and it will graph the absolute value. Okay, now if it graphs it off the screen, which this is kind of off the screen, you can click this last box and then click anywhere on the graph and then just drag it while you're holding down your click. Okay, so you can say, all right, here. And now if I wanted to determine when does this function equal 3, I can graph another function, such as g of x equals 3. Notice it puts in another line. Okay, so here I have my graph of my absolute value. Here I have 3, and I can insert a point again to show where the two intersect, 1, 3. Okay, and once again I could click on this box, insert text, and say ABS of minus x plus 4 equals 3 when x equals 1. Okay, that's my solution there. And now if you're asked to evaluate this, so for example, I'm just going to use this to type, I might ask you, evaluate f of 3. Okay, that means I go to where x is 3 and read off the corresponding y value from my function. Go to where x equals 3, jump to my graphed point, read off the corresponding y. Or I can come in here, insert a point right there, okay, and say that this is f of 3. F of 3 would equal 1. Okay, so the other thing you may need to know is how to do an x squared. Okay, so we're going to go options, make our font a little bigger, and we're going to make grid lines. Okay, so if I want to graph something like f of x equals x squared, you can use the caret. That is the button right above the 6 to do squared or cubed or whatever. So f of x equals x squared, that's all you have to do. If you want to do f of x equals x cubed, again, shift 6 will give you the power. Okay. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I hope this at least gets you started on the homework. The one thing I did forget is how to export. So you can export it here to a clipboard, and then you can paste that right into Word. If you want to, you can export them as a picture. You can export them as a GeoGebra sheet. I will be able to open those. Okay, so how you choose to export them is up to you. If you have questions about that, please let me know. And finally, I will just say that I hope this at least gets you started. And if you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask.